This is a mini suitcase looking semi-portable monster of an external power pack that can be used to power just about any mobile setup simultaneously. It's not for everyone, but it does stand alone in the market in several key ways, and here's what you need to know about it. This is the Zendure SuperTank Pro 100-watt external power pack. It's live on Kickstarter, but is already filled and should be coming to Amazon and other retail locations soon for between $150 and $200. First, let's go over its design and dimensions, and then we'll talk about what makes this really cool. So it's about the size of 3 or 4 iPhone 5s stacked up. It's about that height and about that width, and weighs about 20.5 ounces or 580 grams or 1.28 pounds. So it's beefy, and it's not going to go in any pants pockets, but it will go in a camera bag or a glove box or a drink holder on a backpack, so it is portable in that sense of the meaning. It's got a nice silver finish all the way around, and it looks pretty clean, again, like a suitcase, with the plasticky side and aluminum-ish finish on the top and bottom. And while it isn't remarkable, it is still good build quality and feels nice and sturdy. There's one button on the side which activates the LED screen up front, and up front is where all the magic happens. So there are 4 USB-C ports, so definitely geared towards those with USB-C devices, and then a pretty big display that again is powered on by the button at the side. Now all 4 of the USB-C ports can act as power out, meaning you can charge devices via all 4 of the USB ports, and then the first 2 can both be used for power in for charging the battery itself. And what's really special is not only that all 4 USB-C ports can be used at once, but that it can go up to 138 watts or so of maximum power. The first 2 USB-C ports can charge at a full 100 watts, which simply not many external batteries can say that they do. Now you can't charge 2 devices at a full 100 watts at the same time. Obviously there's an upper limit, and they have a chart which tells you the different combinations of the different ports, but you have 100 watt capabilities out of the first 2 chargers and then 18 watts out of the second 2 USB-C ports. And this means that you can charge a 15 or a 16-inch MacBook Pro at full speed using this power bank. That's really awesome. Most power banks will charge a MacBook Air or a 13-inch MacBook Pro going up to 61 watts, but this will charge pretty much any device that you can throw at it that can be plugged in via USB-C. So a 15 or 16-inch MacBook Pro, you can charge via USB-C with this battery. But it's not just charging other devices that makes this really interesting, but it's the fact that you can charge and recharge the battery pack itself at the full 100 watts as well. So if you have like the MacBook Pro's charging brick or some other device that uses a 100 watt charging brick, or even using Zendure's own 100 watt battery that they also have on Kickstarter now, which is really awesome, you can charge this in about an hour and 20 minutes. I had it at one point an hour and 15 minutes, a full charge of this 27,000 milliamp hour battery, which is crazy. So just to re-emphasize that, not only can you charge a large device like a MacBook Pro 16-inch at full speed, but then you can also turn around and recharge this at 100 watts, making it both a really powerful output and input device. There's also a really cool display up front, and it's a little bit hard to record on camera, but basically it gives you the percent battery left on the power pack itself, and then also tells you the power output of all 4 USB-C ports labeled C1 through C4. Not only is this practical just to make sure that it's working and you can see how much power is coming out of it, but it's also cool and fun to look at because you often don't get to see how much power is actually being drawn. So you can use this as kind of like a power meter, but also just seeing how different devices communicate with the battery. So for instance, a MacBook Pro that isn't doing much is not going to be drawing much power, but if you're editing video, it's going to be using the full 100-ish watts of power. So it's really cool and nice to be able to see exactly how much power is coming out of each USB-C port, and also just how it's programmed to manage power. So a couple other good things to know about this battery. One is that yes, you can use a USB-A adapter or USB 3 adapter with this, and they actually include a pretty nice one, but that's going to limit your charging speeds at about 7.5 watts. So it'd be kind of wasteful, but for something like, charging an Apple Watch or a really low powered device, not a big deal. Secondly, it supports the Programmable Power Supply feature, or PPS, which is one of the new additions to Power Delivery 3.0 standard. I don't fully understand it, but I know that it's kind of a new system, and it does support that, which is good to have, kind of future-proofing. I know some of the newer and higher-end Samsung phones do have PPS support, so it's good that this has that. Third, it does support software updates, so you can plug this in and update the firmware if they ever get better software for this to improve charging capacity or heat management and stuff like that. So you will be able to update the software on this battery. And then finally, like I mentioned before, this is on Kickstarter. At the moment, shipping in November. They've already met their goal, and they're a very reliable company. They've shipped a lot of products, so I wouldn't be worried about buying this on Kickstarter. And of course, it is reduced price right now, like 35% off if you get it via Kickstarter. So ultimately, this thing is too powerful and too capable for probably most people to take advantage of it. It really does demand a portable workstation or something on the go, great for powering laptops and cameras and higher end devices like that, on the go, on a plane, on a road trip, things like that. It's only going to charge a MacBook Pro something like 1 and a change extra time, so it's not like you can charge your laptop for a whole week using this, but for smaller devices, the 27,000 milliamp hour battery will give you multiple charges. So a phone, of course something like an Apple Watch, and smaller items and even tablets, you can get multiple charges out of them. So I see this as a really useful tool for keeping your mobile workstations powered. I could have my computer running off of this, an iPad, a phone, and a camera all at once for pretty much a full day's work, and I can recharge it quickly and get back on the road. So it's not for everyone, but it is one of the most powerful and just coolest battery banks that I've ever seen, and it really could be a super power user accessory. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this, anything that you like or don't like about it, and I'll leave links to it down in the description as always. Thanks for watching.